Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
What's up? What's down? What is going on around? I'm Paulo Liesling, author of Startup Taiwan Foreigner's Business Guide. This show is to answer your questions about starting a business in Taiwan, so leave your questions in the comments section below. Today, we are officially expanding our topic to cover the lives of foreigners who come to Taiwan to study. Our guest for today is Martin Závodský from Slovakia. Martin is founder of Termit, an e-commerce platform that he wants to turn into a trading company between Slovakia and Taiwan. Martin finished his bachelor's degree in English for Business Administration from Tomas Bata University, also in Slovakia. Martin also studied in Czech Republic and was also at Erasmus in Klagenfurt, Austria. He has lived in Iceland, Malta, Ibiza, and traveled to the rest of Europe, also in Malaysia, Singapore, and the USA. Martin, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Paolo. And I wanted to mention I was studying in Czech Republic, but I'm from Slovakia.
Okay, sure. So our topic for today is the steps I wish I knew while I was applying for university in Taiwan, and the current concerns of the incoming foreign students who are quote unquote clueless about whether you guys can come into Taiwan to study or not. So first question, why did you choose Taiwan as a place to study?
Well, after I graduated, I knew that I want to continue my master's outside of Europe. And I was considering, like what comes to mind. That's Australia, Canada. And there was COVID situation already going on. So Australia is closed down. Canada as well was at the time, more or less. And I was talking to my dad. He has a business. And I was like, what do you think would be the best choice for me to study? Like where should I study? And he told me, like, try to look up Asia, maybe Taiwan. And I looked it up, and the more videos I found on YouTube, the more information I gathered about Taiwan. I was like, wow, this is much better choice than Australia and Canada that I usually wanted to go to. And Taiwan, it's, from all the information that I found, it's a beautiful country, has universities with English programs. There is diversity because the students will come from all over the world, and there will be different problem-solving skills and managerial skills from members of the faculty and students, local and international ones. And all of this, together with Chinese language, will allow me to have competitive edge in the world of business.
Okay, so so let's dive into the actual steps of applying for your school. And this is assuming that you have already researched which university you'd like to get in, because that alone is another topic that maybe we could discuss further. But for now, we'll focus on the actual steps of applying to your desired university. So the first step is basically translating your school documents into English. Could you tell us what your experience is about this particular step?
Well, so I studied in Czech Republic, but I'm from Slovakia. So the Czech diploma that I get, it was in Czech language. It wasn't in English. So I had to translate it. There was COVID. So I translated it in Slovakia. I had it verified, authorized by a notary. And then I sent it to Czech Republic, and they didn't accept it. So I had to send my original diplomas to translator in Czech Republic, verified one. Then it had to go to the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and other ministries. And it took me 2 months and like 10 days to get it verified in Czech Republic at the Taiwan representative office in Prague, because I couldn't go there. It would take me maybe 1 week or a few days if I went there on my own, but I couldn't. So it took me 2 months and 10 days. And there is a lot of people that I know of. For example, one guy, he's, I believe, from Peru, and he studied in Portugal. So he is now in Peru. He can't go to Portugal. There was COVID situation going on, and it was extremely complicated. The same thing with one guy that studied in Russia and is from, I believe, USA. So it would be much better to have it like easier way, but I understand that.
Okay.
That's Taiwan rules.
Okay. So, but I guess this translation, like official translation or official verification of documents, could this step come in later, like when you get into the actual university, just so you could meet the deadline? Because I know some of the deadlines for these universities would be sometime around February or March. So I'm not sure if students would have enough time to do that if the whole thing takes 2 months to process.
Yes, you're right. The thing is that universities, usually it's February, March, April, May, some in June you can apply to, and they just need your translated diploma and transcript. And upon registration, when you go to school, to the university, you will have to bring the verified, the diploma and transcript. So you need to bring it to the registration. However, if you want to apply for a Taiwan scholarship, I believe that you need to have it verified already.
Got it. Okay, so for step 2, you need to write a study plan. Is this a document that is required by all the universities that you applied to?
Well, study plan or statement of purpose, that's the same thing, more or less. And most of the universities require this document. However, almost none of them say what the study plan is all about, because I asked my friend Google, and my friend Google gave me a lot of different answers. Like, you need to write about this. So what I would recommend is to look up the information online, then ask the university what would they like to know, because some universities, they have like a limit of words that you can use. And if there is limit of 500 or 800 words and you are writing about something that's not supposed to be there because university doesn't require it there, it's kind of, waste of space.
Yes, and I remember one of the tips that I mentioned to you was basically look into the course offerings of a specific university, of a specific program that you intend to apply, and make sure that you pick up some of the courses that they mentioned there and put it into your whole study plan, and how, for example, a specific subject would help you in your career goal. For example, when I was applying for my MBA at NTU, I mentioned some of the key classes that I want to take and how it could help in achieving my overall career goal. So I guess that's also one tip that we could share about writing a study plan. But of course, Google is a good friend about knowing how to write a study plan.
So what I did basically is I asked you what would you recommend to write there. Then I asked the university, and then I came to conclusion that the best way is to write something about myself, some kind of background, introduction, then something why I want to go to Taiwan, why I want to study at the university, then subjects that I would like to study, and then I wrote, I believe, what are my plans after I graduate. So
okay, yes. So the step 3 is prepare for 2 recommendation letters. So tell us more about this. Do you have any tips?
So there are a few things to be careful. For example, some universities, for example, I was accepted to the NTUST, National Taiwan University of Science and Technology. And when I uploaded the recommendation letters, they didn't want the document from me, they wanted to have my recommender email address, so they will fill in the recommendation letter. And then some universities require, PDF version of, photocopy of recommendation letter, or at Taiwan representative office, they need the document, recommendation letter, the original one. So the teacher needs to send you the document, the original one, and they have work, they have students to take care of, and they are very busy with their own lives. So I would really recommend doing this in advance, because you can't do it from one day to another. And I know one student in Taiwan, she didn't get to the desired university because her teacher or recommender didn't fill in the email that he got from the university. So it's kind of...
Okay. So basically do it in advance so that
Yes.
your recommenders will be able to do it on time. And step 4 is applying for scholarship. Scholarships in Taiwan could be scholarships that are offered by the university, scholarship that's offered by the government, either through the MOE, the Ministry of Education, or the MOFA. In my time, I was applying for university, and at the same time applied for the scholarship, and the results will always come almost at the same time. That's sometime around April and May. So could you tell us more about your experience?
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, you need to be mindful of deadlines. So I believe that for scholarship, Taiwan government scholarship, the deadline was until end of March. And some universities have deadline at the end of February, so you need to be mindful of the deadlines, and the results come at the same time, because the universities know that you most probably applied for a scholarship, so they kind of manage the time, the timing of giving you admission results.
Okay. And talking about scholarship, I know that once you accept a scholarship from your university, let's say from NTUST, you can no longer accept a scholarship from the MOE or MOFA. You have to choose one if you get accepted at both scholarship grant. Is this still the same rule?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
But if you get a scholarship from Taiwan, why would you choose a university scholarship? Because the Taiwan scholarship, I believe it's the best one that you can get. Okay. And usually if you get Taiwan scholarship, for example, they will pay a tuition fee of 40,000 NTD per semester.
Okay.
And the rest, the difference, usually the university offers, or that's what I was told, usually the university offers to pay for you. So basically you get something from the university and from the government.
Okay. All right. So step 5 is finding your accommodation. Your accommodation could be a dormitory or an apartment. So have you already chosen which one are you choosing?
Yes, I will go to dormitory. The thing is, I don't know when I will be able to get to Taiwan. I don't know, before I choose to go to some flat or to some room, and I want to know the environment. I want to know some people maybe, and I want to know my expenses, monthly expenses. So, the rooms that I was looking at are around 10,000 NTD at most, plus utility fee, and that's kind of high. So dormitory is a cheaper version.
Okay, so what is, if I may ask, what is the current rates at the dormitories now?
I believe, I'm not quite sure because I didn't get a message which dormitory I will be allocated to, but the rates are around 7,000, I believe,
so
for semester.
Okay. Oh, per semester.
Yeah, I believe it's per semester. It's like so cheap.
But is this like a shared Is this a shared?
Yeah, there are like 4 people in a room. Sometimes, if you want to go to the cheapest one, it's 10, I believe.
Okay.
And there are some other options. I didn't look it up that well,
Okay.
but I believe it's like 4 people. You have like bunk bed. Underneath the bed, you have like a desk, and on top you have a bed. So
Got it. So, okay. So because back in my time, I guess the rates were almost the same. I don't think they changed the rates much since the last time I was in the university. And we are talking about 10 years ago.
maybe
Anyway,
the rooms are the same as well.
the rooms are the same. And back then, the dormitories for foreigners at NTU were really brand new. So we basically were the first ones to occupy the building. Anyway,
And
let's
how
go
was
for.
the?
Sorry.
I wanted to ask, how was your experience with living in a dormitory? Did you decide to move maybe?
No, I
Sometime?
mean, as someone who's also trying to save a lot of money, I also stayed in the dormitory because basically, as a student, you live your whole life there as a student. You don't want to basically move out and have that hassle of leaving or running for school during your class hours. So because I wanted to be just as close to the university so that I won't be late for class. So I chose to be in the dormitory. But from my experience, many foreigners, especially those coming from Western country, they kind of want to live on their own. So they felt like dormitory is like it's like a back step for them. So many of them actually moved out simply because they wanted to live like an independent like life without being asked to, for example, to be in a certain time back in the dormitory. There wasn't any curfew back in my time, and I think it's the same right now. The only concern is that when you live in a dorm, you're not allowed to have visitors past a certain time. I guess that's back then it was I think 10 p.m. The cut off period is 10 p.m. So I'm not sure how the current situation would be like, especially now that we have pandemic.
Well, in Czech Republic, if we are to compare, people live usually or try to look for rooms because the rooms in flats are usually much nicer, and the price of one room in a flat and shared room in dormitories are more or less the same. So
Oh, okay. So the next step is plan your spending. That's for food expenses. Have you already planned for these?
well, I asked people that I found on the internet on the Facebook that are from Slovakia. So
Okay.
I asked them, what are your expenses? What do you spend your money on? How much do you spend? I wanted to know, like, for example, I would love to go to gym.
Okay.
And so I asked, what do you pay for a gym? What is the transportation cost? What money should I count on? So I did some, I counted money a bit, my expenses. However, I will see how much I spend, I guess.
So since you're going to NTUST, they have a very nice gym facility inside the university, and that's super cheap as well. They have swimming pool. They have a good track where you could actually run at night. So I think you'd be able to save money as long as you're using the school facilities.
Yeah, I will use most probably everything except the track. I hate running.
Oh, okay. So next, step 7 is applying for visa. This is actually leading us to the next topic. So have you already applied for the visa?
No, I didn't, but I'm ready to leave tomorrow if it's needed. The thing is, we are not allowed by the government to apply for visa.
Which
even though you
government
have
are we
like
talking about?
Taiwanese government.
Okay.
Because of the current pandemic, they are worried about Delta variant,
Okay.
and it's spreading in Taiwan, so they didn't allow foreigners that don't hold a valid resident visa certificate, or I don't know the exact name. And yeah, they didn't allow us international students to come yet.
Oh, okay. So that actually moves us to the next part of this interview. I know that you're actually talking to some other students, foreign international students who are accepted at universities in Taiwan, and somehow they seem to be lost for information about whether they'll be able to come to Taiwan. What's the current situation? What's the most current concerns from you guys?
Well, the most worrying thing for us, because we are in a line group, and there is like up to 70 people, international students, and we are all like interested to come to Taiwan as soon as possible. However, we don't have any information. So someone gets an information that's bad, and everyone is like worried, like, oh, we are not going to get to Taiwan, we are not going to be allowed. Then someone will get the good information, and everyone is like happy that we will be able to get there. So no one knows. So we asked Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we asked our embassies, we asked the universities, and we don't really know, and we think that no one really knows what's going to happen. And when I wrote on Instagram to MOFA, I asked them if we will be allowed to come to Taiwan, and they said that CECC will make some arrangements maybe, but it's up to their decision. So we will see.
Okay, and I guess they need to make some decisions soon, right? Because a lot of students also who were, for example, admitted to other universities in another country have already made a decision not to pursue studying in Taiwan, but instead, for example, because UK right now is open for international students. I guess in that line group, I've seen that someone actually decided to, like not go to Taiwan and instead pursue the education in the UK. So yeah, so any other concerns that the students are talking, incoming students are talking about?
Yeah, the biggest concern is when we will be allowed to come, because the fall semester starts in 1st of September. Some universities pushed the start of semester to 22nd of September. And now we can do like quick math, right? So 14 days of mandatory quarantine, and then 7 days of self-health management. So that's 21 days. And if I'm supposed to start 22nd of September, I need to be there 1st of September at most. And
Okay.
that's kind of worrying, because I would love to start. I would love to be in Taiwan, and I would love to have my first day in Taiwan and not, online.
Okay.
And, when you spoke about other students, so there is a lot of students that I know of that decided to start their semester in their home country or in UK, so instead of Taiwan. So
okay, so I'm sure you're also asking the universities about some of your. I'm sure you're also raising these concerns to the universities where you get in. Are the universities answering your questions? What do they say?
well, I'm accepted to the or admitted to the NTUST,
Okay.
and they're great. They answer my question on the next day, basically. At most, when there is a lot of emails that they get from us international students, they will answer in 2 days. So they're awesome. They have They are guiding us basically and telling us what to do. And they gave us even three options: cancel the admission, postpone, our admission to the next semester, which is, I think, in January or something like that, and then wait and see and start in fall semester.
But will the scholarship grants be affected if, let's say, you postponed it, or let's say you take the class online?
Well, from what I read in the group, a lot of people asked the same question, just like you did now, and we found out that Taiwan scholarship, you can kind of, if you decide to go on the next semester, you will get the Taiwan scholarship as well on the next semester. And the universities wrote the same thing, like if you will come on the next semester, you will get the scholarship that you received, the university scholarship that semester.
But what if, I know that one of the options is to take the class online for now. So it means you are using the current semester. Will you be getting the scholarship as well?
Yeah. So in this case, from what I understand, it's
because you're technically enrolled. It's just that you couldn't physically come in.
But from what I understand, you will get since the day you come to Taiwan, your scholarship. So if I'm not in Taiwan, I'm at home, chilling, and why should I get scholarship for living expenses? So if I come to Taiwan, I will get it.
But you will still get the enrollment fee, right? The 40,000 enrollment for that particular semester. Is that?
Yeah, if you get a Taiwan scholarship, which is, I believe, 40,000 NTD, you need to pay the tuition fees anyway. So the Taiwan scholarship will cover that part, and I would have to pay the rest.
Okay. So I guess we could move on to your wish list. So is there anything that our channel could help you with? What are your plans? You could
I would love to get to Taiwan as soon as possible. That's my wish for sure.
Okay.
And for example, I started to network a bit before I go to Taiwan, because I believe that the next 2 years for me is something that will decide my future, my career path, and everything. And I will try to use those 2 years to the fullest extent. And if there is someone who is motivated to, have something in the future, not to just go and drink, and to create something, I would love to get to know them, because I believe that to have people on the same level and to grow together, that's the best way. And I know that I will have international company in the future, so someone who wants to have or has the same ambition as me, just contact me.
All right. Thank you so much, Martin. That's it for our episode today. So for our audience, please don't forget to leave your comments below so we could raise those concerns to the right resource person in Taiwan. Thanks again, Martin. Until next time.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.